Hello, magandang araw sa lahat. So, welcome ulit sa another episode for our Principles of Structural and Analysis Design, no? For Civil Engineering Licensure Examination. So, in this situation, let's have this problem. A steel column of hollow circular cross-section is supported on a steel base plate and a concrete pedestal. Column ends are hinged and side sway is prevented. You are given DO, which serve as the outer diameter, no, outer diameter of the cylinder, and then you are given the height. So this is 3 meters, and then you are given the allowable compressive strength. So this allowable compressive strength pertains to the column, no, and then you are given the allowable concrete bearing stress. Now, because as you can see in the figure, bali lumalabas na ito yung base plate, nakapatong siya sa concrete na pedestal. Nasa bali concrete ito. Okay, and ito yung base plate. So, first question, what is the minimum required thickness in millimeters of the column to support an axial load of 800 kilonewton? So, for number one, basic lang to na normal stress. So, kapag daw nag-apply ka dito ng load na equal sa 800 kilonewton, ano daw yung required na thickness? No? So, as you can see in the cross-section, ang cross-section na kukontra dun sa force is ito. Dahil hollow siya. Yan, no? So, how do you calculate for that area? So, yung area nun, yung area ng hollow section is basically yung area ng buo, no, yung buong circle, tapos ibabawas natin yung area ng inner circle, no? So, kung tatawagin natin or tinawag natin yung diameter ng inner circle na small letter d, so bali ang magiging area niya would be pi over 4 times the outer diameter squared minus the small letter d, which is the inner diameter squared. No? Kumbaga, area ng malaking circle minus area ng maliit na circle. And then, from our simple stresses, no? Ang axial stress will be equal to simply force divided by area. In this case, yung area is yung hollow section, na kasi yung kontra do sa force. So, if we would plug in the values, so mangyayari, we will have, ang allowable stress natin ay 55, and then the applied force is 800 kilonewton. Gawin natin newton para same unit sa megapascal mamaya. Over pi over 4, the outer diameter is known to be 260 squared, no? Given naman. Pero we don't know the inner diameter. Okay? So, po pwede dito na isolve mo yung inner diameter muna bago yung thickness. Meron din namang option na masosolve mo kagad yung thickness. No? Pero para lang simple, kumpitin na lang muna natin yung inner diameter. Okay? So, pag sinolve natin yan, we will have, cross multiply ko na lang, no? 260 squared minus inner diameter squared, and then 800,000. So our diameter here will be in terms of millimeters. Now, so 221.54 millimeters. 221.54 millimeters. But that's not the question. No? Ang question sa atin, ano daw yung required thickness? So kung titignan kasi natin yung cross-section natin, so, exaggerate lang natin yung thickness. Ayan. So, ganyan siya. So, bali, ito yung outer diameter na 260. Tapos, ang na-solve natin ito, which is yung ito, 221. Okay? And lumalabas, ito nga yung thickness natin. Okay? And ganun din sa kabila. And as you can see, pag pinag-add natin yung dalawang thickness at yung inner diameter, dapat equal yun sa 260. So, therefore, 260 is equal to 221.54 plus dalawang thickness. So therefore, we can solve for the thickness, and that would give us, bali, 260 minus yung sagot natin, plus divide lang ng 2. So that would give us 19.23 millimeters. Okay? And therefore, ang required natin na thickness syempre dapat higher than this, no? So, kumbaga, minimum ito. So, therefore, we can round this up to 20 millimeters. Ayan. Okay, so that will be our answer for number 1. Okay? Another alternative, no, which is also applicable lang kapag thin-walled vessel, is pwede kasi na i-revise natin yung computation ng area. Ito kasi, computation ng area ng hollow section, kung halimbawa na hindi mo siya ina-assume as a relative, or hindi mo siya ina-assume as yung thickness is, or should I say, pwede ito, no, sa lahat ng hollow section. Pero meron ding another way that we could solve for this area. This area. Okay? So another way is this. So alternative ito ha. Testingin lang natin. Alternatively, no, yung area ng hollow section can also be calculated as pi times the mean diameter times thickness. So ano ibig sabihin yan? Ang ibig sabihin yan, kung ito yung cross-section natin, papihin ko lang dito. So, ang ibig sabihin yan, pwede kasi na ang i-define mo na diameter is yung mean diameter. Ibig sabihin yung diameter dito sa, kapag nag-drawing ka ng um, center line dun sa cross-section niya, no? So, ito yung mean diameter. And the idea with this formula is, kapag kasi inan natin yan, kapag halimbawa, kinat mo to, tapos nilatag mo, binuka mo, no? So pagka kinat mo siya diyan, no? So at binuka mo 'yan, ang mangyayari etong part na to, lagyan natin ng kulay or marker. Bali etong part na to, no, mapupunta dito pag binuka, no? Ayan. Pag binuka natin siya, maging ganyan siya. Kumbaga ito, yung dulong 'yan, ito 'yun. Okay, tapos itong kabilang dulo, itong nasa kabilang side, ito naman 'yun. Okay, so hopefully na-imagine, medyo mahirap ipaliwanag sa sa online. Pero yun yung idea, no, na kung saan hindi ba yung kahabaan na to, yung kahabaan na yan is, pakita ko lang dito, no, yung haba na to is yun din yung haba na to. Okay? So ibig sabihin, circumference lang to, no circle. Kaya lumalabas, that is just pi times the mean diameter. Tapos ano to? Hindi ba yan ay kung ano to? Which is also the thickness. So thickness ito. Kaya naipakita natin dito na yung area natin dito is also equal to the base times height, which is pi diameter times thickness. Well, kung ganyan yung gagawin natin, no? So by the way, this is only applicable okay, for thin-walled vessel sections. Ibig sabihin, yung thickness niya compared dun sa dimension is relatively small. Okay? And based on the kasi choices, medyo maliliit na yung thickness compared dun sa diameter na 260. Kaya pwede na rin itong i-assume as 18-walled section. At kapag ginawa natin yan, so ito na ngayon yung continuation. So ganoon ulit, stress is equal to force times over area. So yung area ko is ito. So pi times mean diameter times thickness. Kaya lang, ano yung mean diameter? So kung titingnan natin dito sa drawing, yung mean diameter, take note, hindi yan yung 260. No? So ang 260 kasi is mula dito sa pinakalabas hanggang dito sa pinakalabas. Pero yung mean kasi nasa gitna na loob tapos another gitna na loob. So basically, yung mean diameter is just the outer diameter minus yung kalahati ng thickness sa kabilang side minus kalahati ng thickness sa kabilang side. So all in all, parang ano lang yan, 260 minus thickness. Okay? So ibig sabihin, yung mean diameter natin is 260 minus thickness times thickness. And dito, ang masosolve kagad natin is yung thickness. So, po pwede na merong konting discrepancy, masosolve natin dito ha. No, kasi nga, ina-assume natin dito sa alternative solution natin na thin-walled section yung cross-section ng hollow cylinder. Okay? So, we have X. So, kinos multiply ko lang equals 800,000. Ayan. Okay? So, um, quadratic kasi ito, kaya dalawa yung roots niyan. So, nakuha ko yung unang malaki. Pero, gawin ko shift solve. Data natin, gawin natin 5. Ayan. So, makukuha naman natin yung other root. Which is, as you can see, no, malapit na malapit doon sa na-compute natin. 19.23. 19.23 millimeters. Okay, and as likewise, you can round this up to 20 millimeters. So, same lang yung sagot. Okay, kaya lang may limitation itong formulang to ha. Pang ano lang yan, pang thin-walled na section. So ibig sabihin kapag relatively makapal na yung section, hindi na to pwedeng i-apply. Okay? Magkakaroon na ng mas malaking error. Ayan, so alternative lang yun. Pero of course, if you nakasanayan nyo to, no, wala namang problema. Okay, let's have number 2. What is the minimum required diameter of the base plate? So, ngayon naman, ano daw yung kailangan natin na diameter ng base plate? So, saan ba magbabase yun? No? So, in reality, magbabase yun dun sa bearing pressure na kailangan niyang kargahin. Kasi di ba ang idea, kapag mas maliit yung contact area, no? Tapos meron kang force na i-apply, mas malaki yung stress nun. Pero kapag yung contact area mo malaki, no? Kahit na i-apply mo na for the same force, the pressure or the stress will be smaller. Okay? Kasi inversely proportional yung stress dun sa area. Okay? Kaya ibig sabihin, gusto niya tinatanong sa atin, ano ba yung karapat-dapat na diameter nung base plate nang sa ganon, yung bearing stress nila ng concrete at ng steel ay hindi ma-exceed yung limit. At meron kasi ditong binigay na limit. No? So, ayun. No? So, kailangan natin ngayon malaman ano yung diameter. So, take note, yung diameter ng base plate, siya yung magsasabi kung ano yung contact area. Kasi po pwede sa actual, po pwedeng mas malaki yung concrete base plate, pwedeng mas malaking ganyan. No? Pero regardless, kahit na gaano pa kalaki yung concrete mo dito, pag yung pinatong mo diyan na base plate ay hindi ganoon kalaki, no, maliit lang, ang mangyayari, mako-concentrate yung stress dun sa area kung saan lang sila merong contact. No? Kaya ang nangyayari, nakabase talaga tayo yung bearing stress sa concrete dun sa magiging size ng base plate. Okay? So dahil doon, i-define natin ngayon. So bali guys, ito yung ano natin, no? Magiging itsura ng bearing pressure around so sa ilalim ng base plate. Ganyan. Okay, so Q bearing. Okay, so the contact area here will be circular, of course. Kasi circular yung base plate natin based on the figure. So number 2. Okay, so the bearing stress will be equal to the force again divided by the area of contact or the bearing area. Okay? So, ang binigay na allowable bearing stress ay 10 megapascal. So, lagay lang natin dito 10 equals 800,000 pa rin yung in-apply na force. Okay? Divided by, ano yung contact area? So, again, sabi ko nga, yung contact area is yung area lang ng base plate kasi yun yung tatapak dun sa concrete pedestal. So, pi over 4, assuming na d yung diameter ng base plate, so squared. Okay? And then from here, we can solve for the required diameter. So that is just square root of 800,000 divided by pi over 4 times 10. And that gives us 319.15 millimeters. So we can just round that up to 320 millimeters. Okay? And that will be our answer for number 2, so 320. So round up, hindi round down kasi ang goal natin, mapalaki yung area para ma-lessen yung stress. Okay? Now, finally, number 3, if the thickness of the column is 10 millimeters, find the critical slenderness ratio naman. So, slenderness ratio may kinalaman sa height. Ang given na height ay 3 meters. So, ang kailangan natin dito ngayon sa number 3 na makompute, kasi ang slenderness ratio, hindi ba KL over R? So, kailangan ko ng radius of gyration. So, para makompute ang radius of gyration, square root yun ng I over A, kailangan natin ng I. Okay? So, pero sinabi niya naman na ang thickness ay 10. So, kung ito ulit yung cross-section natin, okay, so ito yung 260 pa rin. So, lumalabas ngayon na yung inner diameter would be 260 minus dalawang 10. Kasi 10 ito eh. 10 yan. 10 din ito. So, 260 minus 10, that's 240. So, therefore, our moment of inertia of the hollow section, di ba ang moment of inertia ng circle, pi over 64 diameter to the fourth, no? So, pi over 64 times yung outer diameter to the fourth minus inner diameter to the fourth. Ayan. That is our moment of inertia. And then for the area, that is just pi over 4 times outer diameter squared minus inner diameter squared. And then from here, we can calculate for the radius of gyration. Okay, so diretsahin ko na. So, square root of, yung I natin ay pi over 64 times 260 to the fourth minus 240 to the fourth. Over, area is pi over 4 times, once again, 260 squared minus 240 squared. Okay, and that gives us 88.46 millimeters. So therefore, our slenderness ratio, which is KL over R, will be, so sinabi naman sa problem, no, na yung ends daw ay hinge and sideways prevented. So kapag ganyan, di ba ang K natin dyan ay 1. Ang length natin ng column ay 3 meters over yung R na nasolve natin. So therefore, our slenderness ratio would be 33.91. So, ang slenderness ratio po ay walang units, no? Kasi yung length na to, same units dun sa R na to. So, magka-cancel lang sila. And therefore, our answer for number 3 would be letter D. Okay, so therefore, that's how we solve this particular problem, similar to a previous board exam question. Okay, so thank you all for watching. Hopefully may natutunan. And don't forget to subscribe, share, and like this video. No? And most importantly, share nyo sa mga classmates nyo para meron din silang mapulot sa channel natin. Okay, so I'll see you on the next video.